members?
Now I feel pressure. Thanks a lot.
You
Hey,
got this.
welcome.
You got this.
All right, so here we go. Do you want to just hit next, John, for me when I say next, sir?
You said
All
next,
right.
and so I took you literally. I apologize.
Okay. No, I'm just saying you hit the, well, not now,
No.
but okay. All right. So a topic came up about AI. So I begrudgingly volunteered. If I know Monique was coming, she could have did this one, but that's okay. So talking about basically
No,
using AI.
thank you. You know I don't like your president.
She says she doesn't talk well in front of people. You break it up, Monique. So,
No.
but so using AI, kids are using it to for whatever they need. So why not teachers do it too? So I did some little research and found some things. Myself and Monique, Monique says she uses it to keep her stuff in order and set stuff up. And she said she wrote our student recommendation with Chat GPT. I did one too. I said, this is great. I even wrote a cover letter. Evan had Chat GPT write me a cover letter, y'all. So you can use Chat GPT for quite a few things. But these are some things here. So I'm going to give you a list of resources that you can use, not only Chat GPT, but some other AI stuff. And I just went online. Ditch That Textbook has some really great stuff. Yep, there it is. It does her lesson plans every week. So, and Monique has shifted into career tech. So that's why she does it a lot. So can you hit the next button, sir? Next slide. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I went to, if you look at the bottom of this slideshow, it says Edutopia, 6 ways you chat DBT to save time. So, so that's the link. So you can go to the site because I want to credit it. This is not me. So basically the biggest thing is, oh, thank you so much, is, am I controlling the screen now? Oh, yes, I am. Thank you. Okay. So basically, the biggest thing is planning instructions. Like Monique says, she uses for her lesson plans. I've actually used it for a unit outline because I taught drones this summer, and I wanted it for, but it wasn't for the part 107. It was just more of an introductory. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to teach introductory. I only know how to do part 107. So what do I do? So I literally went on Chat GPT and I said, create an outline for middle school students as an introductory drone course, and they need to learn whatever. And it literally brought me, it hit every point that someone needed to learn on a recreational drones. And in order to movements, different program, everything. It gave me a unit layout with examples that I could do. Now I did change them up, but I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And all I did was just, add some details, but it was a great outline starter for me because I didn't know where to start. It does slideshows. It actually simplifies topics too, which it does great. I like it. And one thing I like about Chat GPT is you can also have it write from different perspectives as well. I had it write like some for like college essays. My daughter was struggling with the topic. I said, well, put it in there, put the topic in there, and put right from a perspective of an African American 17-year-old female and see what it says. And it was okay, but at least it gave her a start to it. And then she was able to, it gave her an outline. And then from the outline, she was able to type her essay. And so I have my daughter use, I said, just use it for outlines, have it create an outline. Once you get the outline, you can go get the sources and you can finish. So that's a really great tool, is to use it for an outline. Handouts is really great for handouts. It helps you come up with examples. And I haven't really gotten into, creating examples, but it definitely helps with assignment directions. It definitely helps with that. And I have used it. I never used the lesson plans, but I have played around with it as far as lesson plans. And handouts. It actually helped me with my current syllabus for game design, since my I'm kind of revamping my game design course. So I actually had it help me write a game design syllabus. So, and that was nice, but I also didn't know it could make flashcards. So I'm gonna look at that, and also helps you produce posters for kids as well. And if you need me to slow down, I'll slow down. Um, choice boards. I love choice boards. This is really great for differentiation, especially like those fun Fridays or oh, she says you can lower the grade level. Monique stated you can lower the grade level. So yeah, so make sure if you're very specific in what you say, it'll make the adjustments as such. So especially when differentiation, you can say, I need a choice board for art, art history. And we're talking about, I don't know, Van Gogh. And you can have a passage, but have the same passage, but have it write it at a 12th grade level, ninth grade level, fifth grade level, and maybe a second grade level. You can have it write four different levels, depending upon what kind of kids you have, especially for us computer science teachers. We're going to have kids who are IOP with IQs of 52, are kids that are national merit scholars. So you might have a wide range. So that's something that's very helpful as well. Professional correspondence, like I said, I've written a student recommendation, I've written a cover letter. It's also written a professional email for me because my emails are not the greatest when I'm upset. So I need to be professional. So I've actually used that. And also resumes as well. Monique said resumes. And I know people, John laughing at me, but he knows it's true. My emails are not nice. So, and I know that about myself. So ChatGPT has helped me write professional email when I have something to inquire about. But also supply lists, Amanda, you said grants or whatnot. There it is. See if ChatGPT can help you with that grant proposal, because we have a grant proposal over here in Westlake Education Fund, and I need this 3D printer, and I really don't have anything what to say because I really just want to have fun with it. So ChatGPT is going to write it up. And Monique just said a business plan. Actually, it did. It helped me write my business plan too. So that's another thing too. So there you go, Amanda, grant proposals. Assessments, and help you write quizzes, rubrics. I didn't know about the rubric thing, but I'm definitely going to do that because I do not like writing rubrics. Checklists. I'm definitely going to use it. Nice parent letters. Thank you, Angela. That's nice. I wish I had that last week. Also, I have used it to monitor students. I used to be a special ed teacher, and I still am. I'm always going to be a special ed teacher. And I talked to Monique about a student I had, and she gave me some ideas, but then I ran it through ChatGPT. And so now I have tick marks so I can monitor the student. Actually, I have another student that I'm monitoring just because he needs to sit by me. He doesn't want to sit by me anymore. So he has to get 0 tick marks for so many days, and he can go sit back by his friend. So he's been doing a good job. But I got ChatGPT. I created a tick mark for him because the way his IEP was written, the goal, it didn't help me with tracking behavior. So that was that. Like I said, writing instructions, prompt generators, grammar. And I don't know if you knew Grammarly. Grammarly is AI. I didn't know if you all knew that. Grammarly is AI. I didn't know Grammarly was AI until like 3 days ago. Had no clue. I just said, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Grammarly is AI. Who knew? I didn't. So if y'all knew, good for you, because I did not. So here's some examples. I used Curipod as an example, and I put in binary numbers, and oh my God, it's a nice slide. This thing does polls, open-ended like I love it. And the free one, you can only have like 5 slides, so you can like save it, delete it, and upload another one, or you can just do the paid plan for $15 a month. I mean, you can do the free plan and just, download the slide and just delete it off the site and do another one, because we like to save money. But this is awesome, everyone. And this is my slide. And it says, what is a binary number? It tells you the definition. And I didn't make any changes to this. I literally just type in binary numbers, 9th grade computer science. That's all I wrote. I mean, it's this. Now, I wouldn't use all of this. Like, I'd make mine funner, but this is such a nice foundation. And that's what I liked about it. Then they have discussion questions, which I like as well. So these are like discussion questions you can have along with the PowerPoint. Another discussion question, brain break. So now the kids can, draw a dinosaur riding a bicycle with the top hat and a bow tie. I would have never came up with that. And then they even have scenarios and activities for the students to do. So AI is a good thing. Then it has activities. Now you have to convert. So, how many bits are in a byte? So now we have questions as well and activities for the students. And I'm just running through here just to show you. But I said, how awesome is this? So I think, am I out? Okay. So that is called Curipod. That is great. I don't know if how many of y'all heard of Curipod, but I think it's great. Then there's another one called Yippity. This converts text into a quiz. So how many times have we want to come up with a new quiz because every kid's finding it on Google? Well, now it does it for us. And all you got to do is copy paste. They say you get 3 free AI quizzes a month. That's probably how many I already need anyway, depending on how many classes we have. But then for $3 a month, you can get unlimited AI generation. I mean, honestly, we can all put some money in together and use one account, but hey, that's okay. But this is an example. So what I did was I just pulled up Blown to Bits because there's always discussions about coming up with new questions because the kids, all the questions are online. So I just took a little snippet of the open internet, and this is not all of it. This is just this page, and it came up with 5 questions, which I thought were great. They gave the question and it gave the answer just from this one section. And I thought, how great is that it gives you questions for reading. So guess what, y'all? Now we have substitute. Now we have subplans. We literally now have subplans. We have subplans. Now, writing across the curriculum, AP. I'm sorry, what does that say? I'm sorry, let me read that question. Does it create an answer sheet for both slides? I don't know. I didn't check that far, Angela. I will go back and get with you. I am not sure, ma'am. I'm not gonna lie. I was just so excited to see it. I didn't even dive deep in it. So I have no clue. I think it might. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I'm going to go check. I'm gonna write that down because I didn't even bother to check. I'm assuming it does though. But I know this one, AI does. So I just took a screenshot, but I thought this was great because now we have subplans right here, people. Throwing them, sub folder. Here it is. Here's the questions. Here's the answers. And now, AI made it for us. And now we don't have to stress out about subplans because this is going to be my new subplan. Adobe image background remover. All you have to do is go, and this is totally free. You don't have to pay anything. There's no login, no anything. So if you can see here, down at the bottom, this is original poodle. And then on the right is the background removed. And it literally did it in like 10 seconds. It was the coolest thing ever. I said, oh my gosh, it removes the background. So I thought that was a nice thing we can use, especially when we're doing PowerPoints and things. You want to get rid of background or whatever, or just, maybe talk about loss decompression, or just something fun for the kids to do, or whatever. Like maybe they're doing websites or web development. This is something that you could add to your repertoire. Now, Hello History, I have not tested this yet, and I'm very intrigued. I want to see how many computer scientists they have on here, but apparently it talks from this perspective of a historical figure. I'm curious if they have, like I said, any of our people on there. That would be so great. I don't know if it's a lot of people that are living or if it's just people that have passed. So, oh, thank you. So we're going to find out right now. But I saw it and I thought it was great. I just didn't have time to look it up. But are you looking at it now, John? No, because I'm not controlling it. Is that you?
Sorry. AI can't do this part for us, apparently. All right, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's called hellohistory.ai. It says it's an app, so it might just be on your phone, but I think that'd be something nice for the kids to do. Like if they did research, especially like, now it's Hispanic Hispanic Heritage Month. Then you have Black History Month, you have Women's History Month. So how great if the kids could, Fun Friday or another day, or sub plans again, where students could, research somebody and then answer questions. And this not be solely their thing, but just one of the resources that they could use. So I thought that was really cool. Especially now, because I've seen it where the AI can have people's pictures talk. I've seen that several times. So I thought that was really cool. Next one. So I got these all from, like I said, Ditch the textbook, and the link here is 30 AI tools for the classroom. So it's direct link to Ditch that textbook, and you can see all of the AI tools that they have, that they've looked at, that they've gone through. Of course, Grammarly and Chat GPT and things of that nature. They even have AI where you give a description and it draws a picture for you. And that's really great because we can talk about algorithms and being specific in our words and in how our code. You have to be so specific because a computer, unlike humans, cannot infer. That's the biggest difference between humans and computers. Humans have ability to infer and computers cannot. At this point, they might be able at some point, but currently, we still are able to infer. So that might be a great one for images as well. So let's describe a dog to this app and see what happens. And next one. So, and we have all this AI, and I knew someone might ask about AI detectors. So I did some research. I went to several websites, and then I was looking at top AI detectors for teachers or for educators. So these were the ones that came up. But I'm going to tell you all this. The one that was called AI Writer or AI something, that Common Lit used. Actually, they just removed it last month because it couldn't keep up with the AI writers, or like things like it couldn't keep up because the AI that would write the papers, it couldn't keep up with it because it was they were learning too fast for it to keep up on the side to detect it because it started to become more human. But I'm going to tell you all this. My daughter's taking a computer applications course in college, and she was able to define Internet of Things, but she couldn't understand the concept, like how to explain the concept. So I said, well, I'll just write you a quick paragraph. You look at it and you do what you want. I wrote the paragraph off the top of my head, concept of Internet of Things. Why? Because we all know the Internet of Things because we've been teaching it. I ran it through AI just to see what it would say. It said I was 16% human. My writing was 16% human. Mind you, I wrote it off the top of my head. So, meaning, if you have a doctor that talks about cancer, oh, thank you, or something, and they're an expert, and I don't consider myself an expert, I'm just really good at what I do. People that are experts in their profession or at the top of their game, it's the AI is going to think that you're AI and you're really human. So, and then I took that same paragraph, and I'm gonna do an assignment, so hope we can talk about it later. I'm going to create a lesson plan with this paragraph, and I'm gonna run it through other AI detectors to see what it says. Because in one other AI detector said I was 40% human. And then I changed a few words. It dropped me to 35% human because I changed a couple of words. Then I ran it through a paraphrase AI that does paraphrasing. So I threw the paragraph in there. It paraphrased it for me. It jumped to 98% human. But when I read it, it looked like, to me, when I read it, it seemed more like it was artificial because the words were too big. It didn't sound human, but the AI detected as 98% human. So there are still flaws in all of this detection. So, I'm very hesitant in saying, oh, this kid cheated, unless we know their writing. So a lot of it is making sure they're handwriting their bell works or they're typing in their bell works and we're reading their writing. So we know their writing style. So when we see stuff, we can say, hey, I don't know if this kid wrote this or not. And we know how kids write, especially our kids that are not writers, and all of a sudden they're writing genius essays with 5 citations. And I'm like, this is not you, sir. Ma'am, this is not you. But I just want you all to keep that in mind, that I really did write this off the top of my head. And it said I was 16% human here, 46 over here. It rephrased it for me, and I went up to 98. And I don't understand, because when I read it, it did not seem human. It seemed like a computer wrote it. So that's all I have, everyone. Yes, that's all I have.
Any questions for Shantae? I saw Margaret threw a link in the chat. Did you see that, Shantae? Magic School.
If whoever's driving, if you want to click on it, it's kind of unbelievable. I played with it this summer. We were on a long drive and I was like, give me a lesson plan for this, write a letter for this. I was just putting things in it and it was turning out content. I mean, maybe you need to touch it up a little bit, but as far as writing comments, putting together labs, it's
I'm gonna
pretty
fill this out really
amazing
quick so we can see it.
and free. Just crazy.
I can only see half my screen. Sorry for the delay, folks. We're gonna see the exciting stuff soon. Just don't look at my password.
Shantae, I really appreciate all those links. Those are awesome. I'm clicking on all of them right now.
Oh, I was kind of voluntold.
Hey now.
Hey, that's
was
how life,
collaborative.
right? That's the way it works.
Oh my gosh.
Better you than me, Coastin.
Oh, there's a skip button.
Monique would have been
Mhm.
better. I'm telling y'all right now, she would have been.
Nope. Better you than me, Coastin. Nope.
Rubrics there. Yeah. This is super cool.
While we're sliding through the screens there, just a couple of follow-up thoughts. That was a great presentation, Shantae. Thank you for that. I think we all need to be very aware, though, about privacy concerns around this tool. And I don't know what our legal footing is, but we are serving in loco parentis for these students. So if you're using it to write comments or college recs or anything personal about the student, know that these tools are harvesting all that information. And we may not, or should not be doing any of that because they can triangulate stuff about if you say in your recommendation captain of a soccer team in Northeast Ohio also takes computer science. It would be fairly trivial to figure out immediately who that person is, even if you use no name. So please, everyone, be very, very cautious and tell all of your colleagues that there may be legal liability there. I honestly don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but these companies do not have your best interest at heart. They are here to make money. And if harvesting data about our students makes them money, they will do that. So just be aware of that. The other, two actually more thoughts. The AI detectors do not work. They don't work. That is not a rabbit anyone should be chasing. No school should be chasing it. I teach a machine learning class. I know quite a bit about the technology. Shantae, you've already discovered. You can type your own writing in and it will tell you you're an AI. People have pasted in the Constitution of the United States and it says it was written by an AI. Like, these things do not and cannot work based on the way this technology is evolving. So don't let your colleagues or your administration think that they will be able to catch someone or make it stick. I guess I could easily defend any student who's accused of plagiarism using an AI. My last thought is this: this is going to transform the world. Those of you who are teaching cybersecurity, this instantly changes everything that you do because anybody could log into this thing and start writing malicious software. But also in the cybersecurity field, it's great at writing code, but that code is not secure. And so one of the big fears right now in cybersecurity is that this thing will be used to write some code in a production environment. It will get deployed, and then we're going to get hacked because no one did any kind of checking for that. But I guess in the nitty gritty portion of it, you can write all kinds of dangerous software with it instantly. But it goes on from there. It is going to replace lawyers. It's going to replace doctors. I think we should get rid of all ODE certification and coursework and only have one class in computer science now, and that is how to use ChatGPT, how to use it to do your job. To me, it's that big. Like if you think back to 1991 when the internet or the web first appeared, if you think back to 2007 when the iPhone first appeared, that's what this is. Like look at us now, 30 years, 40 years after the web arrived. Look at us, 20 years after the iPhone. Like how that has changed society. That's what's going to happen in the next 10 years, or the next 20 years. And we owe it to our students to get them ready for that world because it's totally different. Anyway, that's my soapbox. Thanks for listening.
No, that was actually great, Peter. I think that was great because my concern, my daughter's in college and she has to write a paper and it says that it can only be 25% from quoted or from her sites. And I'm like, well, how can you determine that based upon, and me being in computer science, I'm like, so if it's 27%, you're not going to give her a grade but how do you know it's 25% based upon whatever?
That college, I'll give you the names of a couple lawyers. There's no way that college can make that stick. That's ridiculous. And also, that college needs to. Well, anyway, that's impossible.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I agree with you on that. I'm like that. There's no way, especially after that 16% popped up with me. So thank you so much, Peter. That was great.
Peter, I think something else that you pointed out is not only can AI generate this code, but anybody generating this code, whether it be malicious or not, I think one of the things I try and hit home with my students when I'm teaching cybersecurity and you talk about security and it being safe and secure is that there's so many things that people are just trying to do real quick or make it happen real quick. And there isn't the testing and there isn't the background things going on, even if it wasn't generated with AI, even if a person generated it, they're not testing it, they're not checking it, they're just trying to get it out as quick as possible. And so I think you bring up also a great point, whether it be AI or not, we need to start looking at what we're releasing and should we be releasing some of the things that we are releasing just because it does something cool.
Yeah, this is a fantastic discussion, right? Because these are the kinds of discussions that unfortunately don't happen in a lot of our schools and districts because the technology is so nascent and people are not informed. And so the more that we can bring the results of these conversations to the fore and really have substantive decisions being made, especially on policy level statewide. And I think that's the next nut to crack, especially as and I've said this before in different audiences, is that we don't have the ability as educators to access or have our students access a lot of these, a lot of the generative AIs that we want them to be able to use, because a lot of policies are being made by people who don't understand exactly what Peter pointed out, which is that it is not just the future, but it's everything. And so we need students to be fluent. And if we're not teaching them how to be fluent, then we're not teaching them really anything, right? Because we need them to be able to be prompt engineers and everything. So understand that is happening. Those are discussions that that people are having, that the lieutenant governor is asking for this input because he is Lieutenant Governor Husted is actively trying to have the AI conversation. It may be in a different context, but that is something that's going on statewide. And Ohio X has firmly planted their foot in this space, trying to bring lots of people together. There is another forum that they are hosting in Columbus in just a little while. So if this is something that you would like to follow up with, I am going to send along that information via the Slack so that you can continue being involved. But I just as an aside, I don't know how many people were, this is like probably almost 10 years ago now, or if not longer, but Wolfram Alpha was hailed at one point in time as the next, as what ChatGPT is now, right? And it was like, this is the game changer, this is going to change it. Well, it kind of did, right? Wolfram Alpha, the kinds of problems that were trying to be solved or that were initially solved, just not with the computing power of the learning language models that we have now. That has led in part to what we're seeing today. So it's just an interesting timeline.
Hey, John.
So yeah,
I did want to point out that on the flip side of how it's actually detrimental to some students, the way they're trying to avoid students using AI in different platforms like AP, computer science, principals, and CSA, they've decided that for the test this year, students won't be able to do their performance task and things ahead of time. They actually have to write on the spot during their test. So that's great for some students, but if you have students who are differently able, who have accommodations, well, now they've been put in a position where you have to pretty much be perfect in your writing and everything that you do during testing time, because you don't have the time beforehand like they used to in the past to do their writing and stuff and edit and be prepared ahead of time. They have to do it all right then and there. So that's a way to penalize students who maybe are differently able. I just wanted to put that out there because they're trying to avoid the AI generated writing.
it's yeah, it's kind of it's an endeavor that is not going to be too successful for very long. So looking through here, yeah, I don't know if you all were watching while I was scrolling or you're on it yourself, but this is also clearly a pretty fantastic resource in addition to obviously everything, all the resources that Shantae found. And so I don't know about you all, but I feel like I have a lot of homework now. I need an AI for AI, right? And so I think I guess what I'd like to know from folks is, do you have one specific thing that you saw in here that you said, I need to use this tomorrow, or like maybe not literally, but figuratively tomorrow in my class, in my professional life, whatever it is? Was there a particular tool that you said, this is it? Just to kind of give some direction to folks who might be watching this later.
I think that hello history, I gotta investigate that. Like Shantae said, like if I could find, computer science people from history that we could be very entertaining and engaging. So I'm gonna check that out.
Awesome, thank you. Anyone else?
I got pretty excited about the Adobe Express. With Computer Science Discoveries Unit 3, the kids are creating games in Game Lab inside code.org. And code.org does have the ability to erase some background, but depending on the image, sometimes it's tedious to get it all out there. So I'm very excited to see what this can do. and to see if I can get it in the hands of the kids, because it will make, importing sprites that much faster and easier for them.
I personally use remove.bg, and I've used it already to design a whole bunch of the volleyball stuff and just throw stuff on Instagram. It's great because take pictures at a game and then remove the background later, and you get a nice action shot. And you can put it on whatever background you want. Put it on the home court, even though they were at the away court when they were making that shot, and so it's a really great way. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks again, Shantae. That was awesome. I do have one more task for you. It's very important. I thought